Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Darla. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell if you haven't. I'm uploading videos on a weekly basis. And so today I want to talk to you about the top 7 things you should be aware about before you purchase a condo. Well, before you even move forward in purchasing a condo, you want to make sure that a condo living space is for you. Generally, condos are a lot cheaper. You save some money versus having a single family home. And also, it's less maintenance. Typically, you have an HOA fee that you're paying every month. And that fee typically takes care of the maintenance of the building or buildings, so you don't necessarily really have to worry about mowing the lawn or fixing your roof after it's done with after 20 years. You know what I mean? So just factor in the pros and cons. Now let's say you've decided that the apartment style living is for you and you want to move forward with living in a condo. These are some of the things you want to make sure you know before you go ahead and get a condo under contract. All right, guys, so with number 8, you want to find out what are the restrictions and regulations of that condominium. Excuse me. Meaning, each condominium has different set of rules and regulations that you have to abide by. It's important to know because, for example, let's say this condominium doesn't allow hardwood flooring. And personally, I'm not a fan of carpet. If I were to buy a condo and they had carpet, I, in my mind, would want to take that carpet out and have hardwood floor because that's my favorite type of flooring. However, there are some condominiums that don't allow that and don't approve of hardwood floors. You need to find that out to know. Also, find out if the condominium allows AC units inside the building, because not all condominiums do. Find out if they allow you to have a laundry. That's a big one because not everybody's comfortable sharing laundry with people or having to collect quarters to be able to do your laundry. Some people really prefer to have a laundry inside their unit, and it can be a deal breaker to some people. So find out what's allowed, what are your restrictions. Can you have pets? Can you rent? Some people move into a condominium and let's say something happens and you need to get out. Hopefully you'll be able to rent it out and still build equity instead of having to just sell it. And let's say you sell it and you're selling it in a bad market and you end up losing money. You don't want that to happen. So find out what the restrictions are and if the restrictions are suitable for you. Number seven, find out what the HOA fee is and also the amenities included. Now, typically the HOA fee is covering, the general basics, the pool, the gym, the lobby, taking care of any maintenance of any lawn or greenery that's around the building, takes care of the elevators, the rec room, the parking lot. Find out what exactly is included in that HOA fee. And also find out if you really need or are going to use the amenities offered, because some really nice buildings have higher HOA fees, but they also have couple different pools, or they have a hot tub or a sauna or a yoga room or this or that. And while that might be great, if you're personally not going to use it, there's no need to be moving into that building because you're going to be paying that HOA fee on a monthly basis that's going to take care of those things while you're not even using it. So it may not be ideal for you. Find what's ideal for you and what you're going to be using. Additionally, some of those amenities can cause big assessments. You don't want those huge special assessments because those are big tickets that you got to pay for depending on any project that the building is planning on doing. So figure out what exactly is offered and see what makes sense for you. Number 6, this may not be a huge deal breaker to most people. However, I do think it's important because you need to make sure where your assigned parking lot is, how big it is, because at the end of the day, this is where you're going to be parking at every single day. And if it's super far from your unit, or if it's not a good size, or whatever the case, it's good to know before you sign a contract and, be stuck with that home. Number 5, find out the potential for having a storage unit. Condos usually do. Find out whether it's the cost, or find out if a storage unit is offered, if it comes with it, if you have to pay, how much it'll be. It's important to know because they're in high demand, and who wouldn't want a storage unit in your condo, right? It's just extra space. And it's definitely something that, is good to keep in mind. Number 4, find out if it's approved by your preferred lender. Most condominiums that have, you know, that have been here and are being resold, most of them are approved by most lenders. However, if you're dealing with the new construction or whatever the case, you might have to, you know, talk to your lender and make sure that they already have approved that condominium, because if not, you might not be able to obtain financing and thus won't be able to get that that condo. And then if you have an FHA loan, you know, it's a lot harder to just go with any condominium. You have to go on their website and see which condominiums they actually already approve, and from there you are able to know which one you can buy. Number 3, know the percentage of owner occupied units. For this information, you may have to contact the condo owners directly. This is important for 2 reasons. One, like I mentioned, the FHA loan before. I know with FHA, I think it's usually around like 90%. The condominium has to have at least 90% owner occupancy. Don't quote me on that. Or if I'm wrong, I'll put the right number here. There's the reason you want to know the owner occupancy rate. When the number of people renting out their condos becomes too high, lending then becomes more difficult. It's going to be harder for, you know, certain lenders to want to finance somebody to buy that condo. And when that happens, it's harder for people to buy in that condo. And if you see where I'm going with this, once it's harder for people to buy into that condo, it then becomes harder for you to sell your own condo if down the line you decided you wanted to sell, just because it'll be harder for people to, you know, obtain financing. Which is why a lot of times condos are bought with cash, just because of all the lender regulations that exist. And also, if you do plan on buying the condo and renting it out, find out if that condominium has a rental cap, meaning they have a max amount of units that can be rented out. And also find out any rental restrictions that they have. Like some condominiums, you have to wait a year. You have to live there for a year and then you can rent it out after. Some places it's 3 years. It all varies and it all depends. So it's really important for you to get that information beforehand so you know how you can move moving forward. Number 2, read the newsletter. Find out property management company, you know, read some reviews on there, because ultimately you want to know that they're doing their job and they're keeping up with the condominium. You know, drive by from time to time. And when I say read the newsletter, I mean find out what they're saying about the community, because if things are not being taken care for, that's not somewhere you'd ideally want to live, because you don't want to sign a contract, be in a condominium, and have a headache because things are not being maintained as they should be. So I mean, talk to the neighbors. You want a good understanding, because I mean, buying a condominium, it's a long-term decision, and you want to make sure you're making the right decision with the right community. Number 1, consider your resale value. Now, for example, you may not care about having a balcony or a sunroom. However, when it comes to, I mean, you wanting to resell it down the line, that may make a huge difference on the price that you can resell it for, because at the end of the day, the buyers determine price, not us, you know what I mean? Instead of getting a condominium without a balcony, get one with a balcony, because you'll have a higher resale value. You know, some people do appreciate sunrooms. I mean, fireplaces too. Even though, I mean, I personally don't think that's that important. There are some buyers who may feel that it is important, and therefore you'll be able to sell yours faster and for more money versus any competing condos. Also, I mean, when it comes to, because you're free to renovate your condo to however well you want to do it, but keep in mind, I mean, just because you put, let's say, $30,000 into your condo doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get that entire $30,000 back when you come to sell it again. That's not exactly how it works. You don't want to put all this money in a condominium and, I mean, not get, I mean, you can upgrade it to, I mean, the highest level, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get all that money back. At the end of the day, there are comps, and if the comps don't support the price that you're looking for, it will ultimately be a waste. Unless, I mean, of course, you're just renovating for your own personal benefit, personal needs, whatever the case, and I mean, resale value is of no concern to you, then in that aspect, it really doesn't matter. Renovate it to however much you want. I mean, it's great to have the best looking condo in the building. It's really just up to you. Anywho, I hope this video was really informative for you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Share this with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video.